So we're going to start here on rail with Nina. To start the match, what I don't like here is that Nina's teammate ran immediately out to top mid and Nina went down low. If you're not going collectively on a small map in a doubles game, you're going to be destroyed at least 80 to 90% of the time. In this situation, he is completely alone, pushing in, and his teammate is most likely going to get a split spawn because the enemy is now right in the middle of the map and we don't know where the other enemy is. As you can see on the radar right here, Zach, Nina's teammate, got a split spawn across the map. He is in a position where he's going to have to spend some time in order to come and actually help Nina. We also see that Nina has an enemy in front of him and an enemy behind him, otherwise known as a push, and he will most likely be in a very bad situation in a second here. I do not like that nade that was thrown because it went absolutely nowhere. If you're going to push in and you have a nade to spare, bank it off the wall, bounce it off the ground, do something so that it actually affects the enemy as opposed to just tossing it and having it do nothing. Use it as a distraction, use it to drop shields, whatever you can. Now here, you may have just heard, maybe not, that the enemy has a sniper. So for Nina to push through middle, where he's very vulnerable and open to shots from either enemy, is a very bad decision. He could have dropped down from the teleporter and set up spawns on purple, or he could have dropped down the other side and set up spawns on yellow. I would have gone to purple, but I definitely would not have gone through middle. Here, throwing a grenade, again, way out into the open, you can see where it explodes on the freeze frame, and you can see that it's nowhere near the enemy. Either save the grenade and use it as a distraction in a second, or bank it off the wall so that it at least gets in the enemy's face as a smoke cloud. The enemy's very smart to jump the snipe off the map. Now here, when you are in a situation where you know that the enemy is close together and one enemy dies, with Zach pushing in from behind, the enemy only has the option of pushing forward or running away. He chooses to push forward. As a result, Nina's caught in the middle of a reload. When you reload too early, it leaves you vulnerable to be shot once or twice before you can fight back, and Nina's teammate Zach is not in position to put shots on the enemy to be able to suffice for Nina choosing to battle here. He has options to either not reload and get the first shot, do a very good enough strafe for Gandhi Hop to be able to delay the shots for Zach to come up behind the enemy and kill him, or run away and then peek back out once his teammate Zach has put shots into the enemy, and then they can double team him. But to challenge here is automatically putting Nina down 1 to 2 shots and going to result in most likely a death. Zach eventually picks up the kill, but that could have happened had Nina ran around the corner and been able to create a pinch. Spawning here and going through the teleporter is it's a bad position situation because it puts him in the middle of the map. We don't know where the enemies are, but we do know where Zach is. We know that Zach is fighting people, and the best decision would have been to go a purple lift and then assist Zach. Here Zach dies, probably because of his decision to challenge, but again, this is where the teamwork comes into play. It is team doubles. It's not a 1v1 tournament. It's not a 4v4. It's team doubles, and you have to acknowledge that when you're playing team doubles. You have to acknowledge that you and your teammate are what change the game. If you don't work together, you're either going to be in a 2v1 scenario or you're going to be in a 1v1 scenario. Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you won't. In a game like this, they're most likely Mexican or Colombian connections, so you're already at a disadvantage with the host. Here, I would have gone with Zach if I were Nina, but his position at top mid isn't bad because he's able to provide assistance shots. They take down the first guy, but then here, Zach gets taken down by the second. Again, to push middle on that bridge is not the best decision to make, because he is not creating a spawn zone for his teammate. His teammate can spawn at sniper, he can spawn at purple, he can spawn bottom teleporter, but there's no control of exactly where he's going to spawn. Nina has not created a spawn zone. So he's going to be in a challenge situation of either a 1v1, or if the enemy's teammate spawns at yellow, he's going to be back in a 2v1 and most likely be taken out. You have to be able, in doubles, to create a safe zone and effective spawns for you and your teammate. Here, Zach spawns bottom yellow or bottom teleporter and takes the teleporter to the bridge. Running down low for Nina, I don't like, because he's creating a split scenario again. It was very wise to go the other way. That's the best option that he had. Now here we're getting caught up in a situation where they were separated again, Zach and Nina, and they're having to push away. It's very smart to run away. That's the best thing you can do to try and recover. But that could have been prevented had they stuck together the same way that the enemies are sticking together. And here we are again. I do not like taking the teleporter to split up and have to face the enemy. Does it work out? We'll find out. But if they had stuck together, they have one enemy pushing in and one enemy staying back. That's a 2v1, very easy to take advantage of and control. Now here, I don't know if that drop was intentional, but in that situation, I absolutely would never recommend dropping, because you are up at least 2 shots in that scenario. If you run away from that, you could potentially be leaving yourself at a big disadvantage. So to drop there, if it was on purpose, isn't the best. You push in, you choose to be aggressive, you take out that enemy. Even if you're not confident in your BR shots, quickly switch to an AR, finish off the enemy, take advantage. You and your teammate are up 2v1 again. Here, again, taking the teleporter. Yes, you pick up the shotgun. However, pulling out a shotgun against a Mexican host or any bad connection, UK, whatever, with a otherwise offshore connection to US, it's not a good idea. You're not going to get that kill. No matter what happens, no matter what variable connection you're playing against, you will not get that kill. You might drop shields a little bit, but not enough to make a big impact. It's a very good 4-shot. Throughout this game, you see a very strong pattern of Zach and Nina separating from each other. To drop down here and sacrifice position to maybe chase a kill, I would not recommend that. Nina, he can sit at the top of purple lift, wait for that guy to lift up and shotgun him. Or they can position so that Zach is on the bridge, Nina's at the teleporter, and they're both raining down shots, trapping this enemy, and get the kill that way. But now Nina's sacrificing position to get this kill. If you're going to chase a kill, don't just waddle up to him. Don't go nice and slow like it's a casual walk on the beach. Chase him down, then shotgun. If you're walking at a normal pace, he's going to see you on radar, or he's going to hear you if he has a headset. He's going to turn around and get you. If you have a shotgun, your intent is to kill, go get the kill. Don't dilly-dally about it. Again, with the ranged shotgun, it's not going to get the kill on a bad connection. And in this situation, by not sprinting up to him, the enemy teammate had an opportunity to position himself down low and snipe Nina in the back. Now Zach is left alone in the middle of the map. We just saw the enemy teleport, so there's no way Zach's going to make that out. Now here, if you're going to be in a position where your teammate split spawns from you and the enemies are converging on you, you have 2 options. Challenge one-on-one with the guy that's at a disadvantage. The only guy that's at a disadvantage is the guy that's at lower ground coming up yellow ramp. Or you get the heck out of there. Whether that's sprinting through bottom mid or sprinting down the ramp if there's not a guy down the ramp. But you don't just charge in right in the middle of them, because you know that the other enemy has a sniper. And in this situation, we see Nina get hit right with the sniper. Maybe it was a lucky shot, maybe it was a good shot, but The only circumstance right now is Nina has to realize he's alone, he's being pinched, and to leave open a free kill is not the best idea. And he gets sniped again. Now on his screen we see Zach pushing in. Nina gets a good spawn to be able to create an assistance, and Zach does a good job of picking up those kills. Again, we see that nade there. If you're not confident in your nade placement, don't throw it or wait and save it to bank it off a wall or whatever the case. But you don't just want to keep throwing nades and wasting them senselessly. Here, that is one of the funniest plays I've seen in a long time, to just be able to hop over someone and have them be totally oblivious. However, as good as that play was, Nina should have stayed in this corner. In this corner, he's gotten away from the guy chasing him. He set up the guy for his teammate to be able to kill. Now, again, this is completely based on the fact that Zach and Nina are communicating for Zach to know that he has to capitalize on the situation and kill that enemy. The other guy stayed up top. As long as Nina's in this corner, the guy up top can't shoot him, at least not easily. And then if Zach kills the other guy, then it will allow Nina to recover, Zach and Nina to reposition, maintain the lead, maintain control, and Zach doesn't have to, or Nina doesn't have to lift up to be shotgunned or AR'd or whatever. And there you see him die. Zach foolishly rushes up. I don't know if he gets the kill. But charging up senselessly doesn't make sense. Now here, I love the use of the AR. Okay, you can rapid fire those shots. But if you pursue a chase like that, you better be dang sure you're getting that kill and that chase wasn't wasted. Here, the chase was 100% wasted because you sacrificed position, you didn't get the kill, and now you're in a position where you don't have full shields after teleporting because the enemy was shooting you, and the enemy that was shooting you is now going to converge on you at the bridge. So now Zach, who is low shield, and Nina, who is low shield, are going to be chased down. Now again, Nina has to work on his nade placement. Zach just had an excellent advantage over the enemy, and Nina comes up off the spawn, could have been a great asset, and instead nades Zach. When you nade your teammate in legendary game type, it will affect them, you will make them one shot, and now Nina's in a position where he's naded Zach, Nina got naded, they're both one shot, and there's an enemy in the middle of the map. If the enemy's good enough, or if he has another nade, he could easily take out both guys. Here, again with the nade placement, Nina nades his own teammate and kills him. Running away is a very smart move. It created a spawn point, they spawned together, it created a scenario that they could easily take advantage of. But here, when Zach gets taken down, it is again a 2v1 scenario during this game. Nina might pick up one of them, but it is a guarantee that unless these kids are beyond awful, that Nina's going to be taken down, and the red team is going to again have control over both spawn and position. So we see he does a very good job of trying to stay alive, but he doesn't kill either teammate or either enemy, and him and Zach are a split spawn, and the other team is able to pull control, regain shields. It's not a very good scenario. See, again, that I don't like that use of that nade because it didn't affect anyone. It didn't take anyone out, and you can see on your radar that the one guy is moving away. If you have one guy moving away, the guy that you're trying to target, then you don't throw the nade, you save it. And if the other guy's all the way on the bridge, that nade at the doorway is going to get nowhere near him. Here, pulling out an AR for a guy that you were trying to pick up because you saw him on radar and he's 50 feet away, you're not going to get that kill. Again, especially on a not great connection. Zach is not there to help Nina, so he can't pick up the kill. So what we're probably going to see here is Nina be taken down, and then the enemies converge on Zach. Here we have the split spawn scenario again. Zach does a good job of picking up that kill. Again, I don't like the teleporter because you don't set up a scenario where you and your teammate are in a power position to be able to work together. Zach teleports there, really helps out Nina against the shotgun. That's a great thing, but the positioning for a power play isn't there. Now here, as we see, Nina teleports. He's in a disadvantage. But if you're in the middle of the map, especially on rail, you drop down and you're low shields and you think you're getting chased, you don't run an open pathway. What do I mean? When he drops from the bridge and he goes towards the lift, he is running straight down the middle of the alleyway and then going straight up a lift that has no walls of protection. You can get shot when you're running down the middle. You can get shot going up the lift. You can get shot when you're at the top of the lift. You can get shot until you go around the corner of yellow. It is a guaranteed death against someone that isn't a 5-year-old ignorant player. So this is all around not the best. I would have taken that doorway, played around a little bit, let Zach shoot the enemy, and stayed alive. Running away from your teammate instead of helping them is not a good idea. Now here, yes, we see Zach taken down, but who knows if that could have been prevented if Zach had backed off a little bit, Nina had pushed up, and they had done a bait and switch to be able to save Zach and gain the lead. So we're in a position where Nina split, Zach died, and now they're trying to regain control. Zach, it looks like, was able to spawn next to and pick up the sniper, but had they played that a little bit better, they could have both stayed alive, gained the lead, grabbed the sniper, regained a position. I don't like that nade throw again because it's going nowhere and affecting no one. Nades on a map that don't have grenade respawns are one of your single biggest assets, and to waste them frivolously, you have to plan your nades, bottom line. Now this is actually a good move. They're both in the middle, but dropping down for position when you have nothing to gain, it's not a very good move, especially if you're not going to make that gap to that ramp. You're doing nothing but sacrificing position, not getting a kill, not getting an assist. It's a very bad move. So stay up top, converge, or run and jump across and have Zach go around the purple doorway to be able to finish that kill on the ramp. Don't just charge down and expect that your teammate's going to be there. You actually have to make it happen. You have to work with your teammate. It is team doubles, and you guys have to play together. You have to communicate. You have to cooperate. Here, they're both getting stuck in the middle of the map, and it's not going to work out well. We're in a situation where Nina pushes middle, Zach pushes middle. You got one teammate coming up from behind, one teammate in front. When the enemy dropped Nina to one shot, you could see on your radar that the other enemy was coming up from behind. You either both push forward, take out the teammate, or you both turn around and take out the other teammate. They are literally announcing to you on your radar, hey, we're split up and we're being dumb. Do something about it. You turn around to yellow, 2v1, guy's dead. You charge purple, 2v1, guy's dead. But you don't split off and focus on different guys. Again, this isn't a 1v1 tournament. It's team doubles. Specifically in matchmaking, you have to manipulate your enemies. Now, I want to note, if you're not experienced with your teammate, if you're going in solo or you and your teammate are just starting out in doubles, do what I do. Use your teammate. What do I mean by that? Use him as a tool. Okay, if he's not very good, or he just doesn't know what he's doing, or he's not communicating very well, then use him, manipulate him to manipulate the enemy. If your teammate is a fool that is just rushing and rushing and rushing and dying, use that to your advantage. Every time he rushes in, chances are, even if he's garbage, he's probably going to get a melee or a one shot, or in the very, very least, he's going to be a distraction. Okay? Use an AR, use your nades, pick up the sniper, use your teammate as a distraction to kill the enemy. If you can't do that and your teammate gets a couple shots, just finish the kill. But to just let your teammate die and think that or expect that you're going to have an upper hand in any scenario, you have to create it. You have to be clever enough, skilled enough to create a bad scenario to a good scenario. And that can be done whether you're playing with a random kid or a teammate you're experienced with. You have to take advantage of scenarios. And in doubles, those advantages are 2v1 all day, every day. Again, we see sacrificing position to try and chase a kill that doesn't get killed. What we see here is what could be a huge advantage for Nina and turns out very bad. You can't expect that the enemy is just going to sit there and stall while you're standing still. If you're going to stand still with a bad situation or with a sniper and expect not to die, you're fooling yourself. Here, the nade that Nina placed was good, but you're standing still. If you're standing still, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage and you're at low ground being on that ramp. So the guy jumps over the nade, he puts an amazing nade on Nina and suffers the consequences. You don't just stand still idly expecting that the enemy is going to do something foolish. You either make the enemy do something foolish or you have enough confidence in yourself to be able to have an advantage over a certain scenario. Now here, you spawn bottom teleporter and you immediately start moving. If your teammate is spawning across map and you spawn in a disadvantaged situation, you either crouch so that the enemy doesn't know where you're at because you don't know where the enemy's at, or you stall for a second, survey the map because it's a very small map, see where your teammate's at and head towards your teammate. In this scenario, when an enemy is dropping from higher ground, you don't know if he's dropping left or right. You don't know if he's dropping front or back. And as long as he jumps out and drops on you, the entire way down, he's got the advantage on you. If he's ARing or BRing, he's going to get at least a few bullets, if not more, on you before you ever can shoot him. For you to look up and shoot him knowing, predicting that he's dropping, you have to look up, follow your reticle as he's dropping, and if you're very skilled at strafing, you could get the advantage, but it's not always likely. So he's got the advantage. You either run away before he can finish you off and stall for your teammate to come assist you, or you strafe like a mother trucker and Gandhi hop and whatever you can to get the advantage here. Holding down the AR is going to result in a bad situation because you're not going to be able to target those bullets anywhere you want them. Now again, a very bad nade placement. We'll see if Nina takes the upper hand against this guy or not. But throwing a nade to the left when the guy is all the way on the right on your radar, it's another wasted nade, which could be an extremely useful tool, asset for your situation. So, Nina gets an extremely good kill, even after being down a shot. But then it's a trade-off that the enemy is going to take every time because they have the advantage. Now, the enemy still has spawn control. They still have higher ground. So, for the enemy, it wasn't bad. Here, when that enemy throws a grenade, it's not bad that Nina moves in on it. But if you're going to move in on a nade because it's behind you, you sprint forward, you jump down, or you figure out some other situation that is going to be to your advantage. But to sit there and just take the nade in the face because you're walking casually, just like earlier with the shotgun kill, when you're casually walking, you're gonna be losing shield 100% of the time. Here, throwing that grenade, again, is a big waste. The enemy is going to the side and you throw it straight up. It's not gonna help you at all. One major thing to take away from this game is nade control, nade placement. Okay? Now, spawning and running away from your teammate in that scenario, it's not going to help you. It's not going to provide you an advantage against an enemy. So running away off your spawn and being on opposite sides of the map for the enemy to be in a 2v1, it's just not wise. Here, if the enemy just spawns, he's got 2 grenades. They've proven all game that they can place their nades. So to challenge someone who has full grenades and can put a nade right in your face, you have to learn your enemies throughout the game. You have to learn that they are there and that they're good at certain things. Some people are good at jetpack, some people are good at camo, some people are good at snipe, grenades, shotgun, rockets. Some kids are good at the storm rifle. You have to learn that as the game progresses. And in this situation, to expect the enemy to miss a grenade when they've been hitting those nades for 10 minutes straight, you're going to lose that battle almost every time, as we've seen the rest of the game. So learn to predict your enemies, learn to set up your enemies, but most importantly, do not run away from your teammate off your spawn. If he's at a disadvantage and he's dying, then you move away. You set up another spawn. But in a situation like that, where Zach is still alive and you could potentially help him, just like earlier in the game when he was at top yellow, you don't just run away and create a disadvantage for the both of you. You guys had the lead a lot of this game. You both created situations where you were in position to lose the lead and lose control. So practice spawning, practice nades, practice teamwork and communication and cooperation with one another. And as I said earlier, if you are playing with a random or you are playing with someone that you don't have experience in doubles with, then use your teammate, manipulate your teammate to manipulate the enemy and take advantage of as many situations as you can. Overall, it wasn't a horrible game, but there are definitely things to work on and think about a little bit better when you're playing, and largely it's control. Control of the nades, control of the spawns, control of your teammate against the enemy. So just practice those things, think about those things when you're playing.